I'm Harrison Kelly with BYU-Idaho Radio, and I've got in the studio with me Rochelle Hyde. She is the owner and operator of Hōl Bädē HelTH in Rigby, Idaho. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to talk a little bit about, you have this event coming up on September 2nd. It's this Kintsugi Hearts kind of event. Do you want to just give us a little quick overview of what that is before we deep dive into this?
So the main idea of it, it's called Golden Scars Kintsugi Hearts and the general theme is finding beauty and value in imperfection, because a lot of us are just really hard on ourselves. And so you can come and create this pottery bowl that is broken and then put together with gold ribbons or gold scars. And that relates to us. We have these hard things that happen or these imperfections we want to improve, and we think they're bad. And so we try and hide them. But if we actually value them and stop hiding them and show them to the world, it can change them, it can change us, and it just makes us feel better about ourselves.
So it's basically a metaphor for ourselves as well. And it kind of goes into what you do as an occupation, which is kind of addressing some of those like mental and emotional health needs through different body work.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to organize this event, is because a lot of my clients come in and they have these symptoms, and so we talk about them and we address them, and I give them suggestions of things they can change in their diet or their lifestyle to improve those symptoms. And sometimes they're received as one more thing I have to do, or one more way I've failed in my life and I can't do that. And we don't have to be perfect. We just have to keep trying to do better and be better, but love ourselves and give others the grace and love as well.
Right. And so with that grace and love that you're hoping, your clients have, the people that you want to come to this activity, what do you want them to expect as they walk through the doors?
When they walk in, I just want them, it's a beautiful venue. I intentionally picked somewhere beautiful so they can just come in and feel something beautiful, and then they can pick their pottery, and as they sit there, they can just feel valued, is what I hope.
What's the venue for this?
It's Mill House in Rigby.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. And that is a very beautiful venue.
Yeah.
So I can see why you picked that as a venue. What kind of, aside from the pottery, will attendees participate in any like physical kintsugi workshop? Like, are they going to focus on any guided reflection or discussion? What's that going to look like? How are you going to bridge the gap between the painting, the pottery, and also like teaching them about themselves?
That is a good question. So a lady named Katie Lovelace in Utah who has done kintsugi events before, I'm bringing her up here. And as you are holding the pottery to dry, she will give some information that she has on this topic, and she's been through all the feelings before, and so it's very vulnerable and personal to you, and so it's very relatable as well.
Right.
Did that answer your question?
A little bit. Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good answer. So you have this guest coming in, and she's going to kind of walk them through these different things. What kind of scars or life transitions are you like hoping to address with some of these community members?
Any. Like, it's going to be general enough that it can be relatable to anything, whether it's personal, whether it's relationship, if you have perfectionism, if other people have hurt you, if you've done something that you regret, like anything can be related in this evening. Okay,
so it's pretty broad. Is there an opportunity for anyone in the community to want more specialized care?
I have a few businesses that are helping sponsor this, and there's going to be, so every attendee will receive a bag with a tree, and some businesses are providing some gifts in there, and then there will be a list of all of them. So there are some counselors on there that you could get some further help with. Foot zoning, obviously, my information will be there, and the Novam Wellness, Pilates and Yoga, their information will be there, and they can help in a lot of ways as well. So there's this list of sponsors where you can get specific help if that's what you want. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good answer. And I'm curious to know, for those that don't know what it is, what is foot zoning? What kind of different things do you offer at your little studio there?
Okay, so foot zoning, there is some of it in the area, and each practitioner has their own personality with it. Some are very heavy into the energy, and I am trying to make it for clients who don't want the energy as much, and it's more focused on the physical. It's going to be more like, yes, I went to the chiropractor, I went and got acupuncture, I went and got a massage, because it is very similar to acupuncture in the way that it works. Your body, in acupuncture, your body is reflected on your back, and they use little needles to manipulate little points to help your body heal itself. And foot zoning similar. There's just no needles, and it's on your feet instead of your back. And so it's a similar thing. And so my business at Hōl Bädē Health, we focus on prevention, recovery, and alignment. So prevention is taking action to stay well and healthy. Recovery is what most people come in. They have symptoms, and it can be from illness, injury, emotional weight, exercise, hard workout, competition, just physical demanding things. And then alignment is in being in a state of agreement or cooperation, which kind of sounds weird, but it's stress, injury, emotional weight that make us feel stuck or tense or disconnected. So that's what most people come in for, is some type of recovery. And it can help. The main things that people notice from their session are it improves circulation, reduces inflammation and tension, can calm the nervous system, improves digestion and lymph flow. And there's a lot of other things as well, but those are kind of the main ones that people notice from just one appointment even.
Okay, that makes sense. And so it's kind of a way that people can recover from the stresses of everyday life, of maybe previous trauma they might have, different things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to know just about this event that you're holding, because it's different than what you actually do normally in your studio, right?
Yes.
You're painting pottery.
Yeah.
But what for you inspired you to do this event? And what do you hope to see come out of this?
So when I have clients come in, we spend an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what appointment you schedule. And because they're coming in with symptoms and we talk about them and what caused them and things, it gets kind of to be, you could say, an intimate conversation pretty quickly. And then it gets vulnerable, and every appointment, I would argue to say every appointment, I just feel the weight that they carry on how they're not reaching their expectations. And from the outside, it's just sad to see people that are doing so many good things not focus on the good things and focus on, well, I need to be better at this, or I need to be better at this, or I don't tell anybody about this part of my life. I want to hide it because it's not fuzzy and warm, and it paints me as imperfect, which we all are, but we try and hide those imperfections. And so I wanted to do this in a way that would encourage people to come, because not everyone's open to counseling. Not everyone is religious, and not everyone gets good things out of religion, even if they are religious. And I wanted to try it as a hands-on way, because you are receptive to things in different ways when you're moving. And this is just moving your hands, but it's still movement. And so I wanted to try and just hopefully encourage people to spend some time on themselves, because there's probably most likely going to be women. It's mostly going to be women there. And a lot of women have a hard time investing time or money in themselves. And so hopefully they can get a friend to do it. Not one ticket has been bought as a solo ticket. Everyone's been 2 to 5 in groups. And so if they come with a friend, then it's more likely that they'll actually commit to doing it. And then if they come, they're investing in themselves, which is an important thing to do, because then you feel like you're worth taking time and you're valuable. So, I mean, just that alone, just buying a ticket, the women are acknowledging that they have value, or anybody, men too. And And then they come and they spend the evening and they feel good about themselves. They're in this beautiful environment, and then they have this beautiful piece of pottery that they helped create, and they can take it home and remember that, and remember those feelings. And then they have this list of resources as well that they can take home. And if they need further help or want further help, hopefully they can continue to just invest in themselves. Because if you are healthy and happy, you make a bigger impact on those around you as well. And you're also more receptive to what they can bring into your life.
That's really cool. And I'm curious to know what got you into this in the first place, this type of work.
I started foot zoning because it helps my family out. And then we moved, and I couldn't find any foot zone therapists in the area. And so I love the body. My college degree is in health and physical education. But as a mom, I just chose to stay home. And so I was like, well, I can go learn how to do foot zone therapy because it will pay itself off soon enough if I work on my husband and my kids and then extended family when we see them. And so I signed up and I did the classes. And then I never intended to work on anyone else, but in between classes, you have to do work on so many feet. And I really enjoyed getting to know people, and the modality is so helpful to people. And so my husband convinced me, just like, open a business. It doesn't have to be big. And then you can just keep doing this, keep helping other people. And I am uplifted, and I learned so much from every foot zone appointment as well. So it's just a perpetuating give and take that helps.
Yeah. And since you've opened this sort of business, how have you seen the community react to foot zoning? You say there's not a lot in the area. What has the reaction from the community been for you?
There's been a couple. There's a few that have come in, and they say, I had a foot zone years ago, and it was so weird, and they basically just harshly told me all the things wrong with me. And so I was like, I never wanted to go again, but they, for some reason, which a lot of times they don't tell me, but they come in and they're like, this was so much better. And I don't fault, it's just a personality thing to the foot zone therapist that they had before. But I love that they give it another try. So that's been a reaction for some. And then a lot of other people just really appreciate someone taking time to touch their feet. Because a lot of people are like, feet are so gross. Why do you do this? But having someone serve you in a way that feels, a word you could say is, what's a good word? Someone willing to serve you in a way that is what's a good word for, like, peasant-like almost. And enjoy
like a servant?
Yeah, just like you're sitting there. So you sit on a chair, and I sit on this yoga ball. So I am lower than you, and I am touching your feet, and I'm just listening, and it makes them feel validated. A lot of, I guess that was a roundabout way to say they come in and they just feel validated, and they feel important, and they just appreciate the time. And they, sometimes you can leave the appointment and you can feel worse, kind of like your body is finally releasing stuff. So it's not all fuzzy and warm. And some of the movements when you're out of balance can be uncomfortable. But a lot of people, even through all that, it's a healing situation that their body is going through. And the discomfort usually works out in those spots. And then if they do go home and feel worse, then they rebound and they end up feeling better because their body healed whatever it needed to heal.
So when you start these sessions, do you start by opening with questions? Do you start by, how do you start those conversations to have them start laying their issues on the floor?
So they come in, I usually ask if there's anything they want me to focus on. Especially in the 90-minute, the extended foot zone, because the hour foot zone covers your entire body. And if you come for a 90-minute one, there's areas that you want me to focus on that are bothering you. So I do ask, and And even in the 60-minute one, I can kind of focus on certain areas. But then as we're going through it, I can explain it. So this is something good that the listeners might want to hear. So foot zoning can, and acupuncture even, can sound super weird because it's energy and like your body reflected on your back or your feet. But if you take a step back and you think of everything has an energy, colors. The only thing that distinguishing colors is different frequencies of wavelengths. Sound, and a really good visual is water. When water's at its normal frequency, it just runs smoothly. If you heat it up or you increase that, it turns into steam and it has different characteristics. You slow it down, it turns to ice. None of these are bad. Ice and steam and water, none of them are bad. They're just different. And that's how the body works too. So each organ, each cell has a frequency that it operates at optimally. And when that's changed a little bit through illness or injury or emotions, then it reflects differently on your feet or your back for acupuncture. And essential oils, which I use if you're open to that. And just the physical manipulation on those points can bring the body or those areas back to their optimal frequency. And so they'll discuss the issues that they came in for, but often when I get to certain points, like, oh, how does this feel? Or this feels tight or whatever. And that usually guides the discussion more.
Okay. And that makes sense. That's how, that's how a lot of people can get relief, is by coming to you and just, trying to have a release from their everyday stresses and their problems. And that's the service you provide, which is really cool. And this event is really cool too, because it's a great way to bridge the gap between what you do, but also in a fun and a really cool, unique, artistic way.
Yes.
Which is cool. So where can people get tickets? I know that there's a soft deadline of about August 19th.
Yeah.
That's just so you can order supplies and get ready for this event. But where can people find tickets for this event?
So it's on my website, which is Hōl Bädē HelTH, but it's spelled phonetically, so it's something we'll all get used to. So it's spelled HOL BADE HELTH, but the easiest way is probably just to search Rexburg Foot Zone or Rigby Foot Zone, and Hōl Bädē HelTH will come to the top of the search, and you can click on that and it'll take you to the website. And you can learn more about it. You can order tickets. The tickets will be available even after the 19th until there's enough tickets bought that our supplies are used up. And then if you go to the website and you don't see anything about the Kintsugi event, that means it's full.
That was an interview with Rochelle Hyde. She's a holistic health practitioner hosting Golden Scar's Kintsugi Hearts in Rigby, where you can create your own Kintsugi bowls. Registration is open with a soft deadline on August 19th. For more information, go to wholbadehhelth.com. That's HOLBADE HELTH.com.